right, hello everybody. Thank you for joining. I am Riley with the T Storm Chasers, and we're going to take a look at your forecast. But before we do, here is a brief word from our sponsors at Cube Portable Storage.
What are you doing?
Decluttering?
Moving? Remodeling? In need of temporary storage, emergency cleanup, or just need to declutter? Cube Portable Storage has the perfect solution. Rent your Cube Portable Storage container today.
And don't forget, they got roll-off dumpsters for the other stuff. Call Cube Storage for all your moving needs.
Alright guys, let's jump into today's video. Much quieter weather today. Yesterday was pretty active out there. We had snow in the west, rain and snow in the west, and we had thunderstorms in the east, and we had some severe weather as well yesterday. We covered it in our video last night. We went live for about a half hour to give you guys an update on the weather. Since that video, things have calmed down, and we do want to give a thanks to, again, our sponsors and all of our viewers from yesterday. Just a big thank you to everyone that tuned in yesterday to the weather. Now, today, taking a look at the current conditions, as you can see on the radar picture, we don't have any rain or snow. That has moved on out of here. That has moved, way east and south. And I will say, though, I do want to mention this. Down south, there is a very, very significant tornado outbreak unfolding here and ongoing across Mississippi and Alabama. So if you have any folks down in that neck of the woods, down in Mississippi and Alabama, please be sure to let them know about that, because that is unfortunately going to be a historic tornado outbreak today with a high risk level 5 down here in this area. There's a bunch of tornado warnings down here, and just a wild scene down there of weather. But luckily for us up here in the upper Midwest, we don't have to worry about that. And temps are quite a bit cooler. Yesterday we were in the 70s. Today, not so much. We've cut that in half. We're about half of that temp. We're at 34 degrees currently in Sioux Falls. So we are above freezing finally, which is good. So all that ice and snow that we had is melting rather quickly. I did want to mention that last night and into this morning we had road issues. We had a lot of problems. There was a lot of slippery roads out there, and there was a lot of ice as well on those roads. But that has since passed. We now don't have to worry about that anymore, at least for the short term. And taking a look here at your satellite picture, it is now sunny out in Sioux Falls. Looking out the window here, it is sunny. And then into Minnesota, it's still cloudy, and temps are still in the 20s to low 30s. 30 degrees in the cities, 27 in Marshall. And then down in Iowa, it's slightly warmer. We got 40s in southeastern Iowa there, 41 in Cedar Rapids, 45 in Davenport, but then it's cooler. It's 36 down in Des Moines, 32 in Spencer. 39 in Omaha, Nebraska, 30s and 40s across Nebraska there. And then out in western South Dakota, a little bit warmer. We got 43 in Rapid City, 39 in Spearfish. So, more of the story, 30s and 40s can be found, although there are a couple places that are stuck in the 20s. But, it's a lot colder than what we've been seeing this week. With temps in the 60s and 70s and even an 80 degree, but we're down into the 30s now. So the weather has certainly changed quite a lot here in the last 24 hours. So what is next in this forecast? I know a lot of you are wondering. Now I will say short term here, let's start out with your St. Patrick's Day forecast. We're looking dry, a little bit cooler, but not bad. We're going to be in the 30s or in the Sioux Falls area, 40s out west, a little bit cooler east of Sioux Falls, and it is sunny. So, and the only thing though is we still got to deal with this wind. This wind is still going to be a problem. But we'll get to these forecast models in just a moment, and we'll also show these the snow totals that we got from the system last night. But first, let's hear a brief word from our new sponsors at CE Construction.
From roofing to siding, CE Construction is setting the standard across North and South Dakota. Our expert team delivers quality, durability, and trust on every project. CE Construction, Dakotans helping Dakotans with their roofing and siding needs. Call or visit us online.
Alright, so real quick here, I'll show you guys the latest on the snowfall reports. Now out in western South Dakota, there wasn't a whole lot reported. They didn't get a whole lot of snow actually out of this system. There really wasn't a whole lot of snow out of this system. 3 inches down in south central South Dakota near Wawella. 3 inches of snow fell. And then up in northeastern South Dakota towards western Minnesota, a couple inches fell there. That was a report there. Morris, Minnesota, 2 inches. Here we got, probably more ice than snow. The roads were pretty much covered in ice this morning around the Sioux Falls area, but we did get a little bit of snow, but a lot of it was blowing around. It was blowing snow out there, so there wasn't a lot of accumulation out of this. Now, we did get quite a bit of rainfall last night. I did see that. We got some rain, so some much needed rain, so that's good. So let's go ahead and pivot now to what's next in this forecast. Well, we'll show you the latest on the European model, because we got some stuff to talk about, especially for next week. Alright, so as we run this out for you guys, obviously today and tonight, not seeing anything in this forecast. Now, there could be a few snow showers here in southeastern Iowa, but that's tonight, not really a big chance. And then there could be a few snow flurries up in north central South Dakota, Mulbridge to Aberdeen and north, but very slight chance there. Now, there could be some rain showers tomorrow, northeastern South Dakota, as you can see there. It is a possibility, but that would be about it there. Now, up to the north on Monday, there's going to be a system moving through North Dakota into northern Minnesota. So don't be surprised to see some snow again up in northern Minnesota. And then on Tuesday, so here is where we get into our next system. So it starts Tuesday morning across western South Dakota there into Wyoming with snow. And then for us, into South Dakota, central and northeastern South Dakota, some rain/freezing rain into Minnesota as well. So that band there from Rapid City to Pierre, Aberdeen, over into Minnesota. That's Tuesday, and then that'll kind of move south. Rapid City expected to get some snow out of this. The Sioux Falls area at this time, not really seeing much there. Probably won't be seeing a lot of. Sioux Falls could very well miss out on that, but that is the latest there. Sioux Falls could get clipped by this, could get a few snow showers on Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. And then that system, as you can see, pushes south into Nebraska and Iowa with some rain/snow. And then on Wednesday, that'll clear out. So it looks like this system, as of now, what is being shown on the European model, as of right now, it looks to be south of Sioux Falls. And then that'll clear out, and then by Thursday, things clear out again, and we'll see what happens after that. There could be, a few light snow/rain showers here out in western South Dakota on Friday the 21st, which, the official first day of spring is Thursday the 20th, but the first full day of spring is on Friday. So that is what we're seeing there. That on that forecast, towards the latter half of the month, could be more active. That is the moral of the story there. So let's go ahead and show you the temperature outlook, and then we'll close it out. All right, so as we run this out here for you, today's highs will get into the upper 30s to low 40s for our region. It could hit 40 in Sioux Falls today, which is still not bad for this time of the year. That's slightly below average for this time of the year. And then once we get towards tomorrow, 40s and 50s can be found here across South Dakota, Nebraska. It will be cooler in Minnesota and Iowa where there's some more snow. 20s in Minnesota where that snowpack is, and then 40s in Iowa. But look at that, mid to upper 50s in central and western South Dakota down into Nebraska, and then mid 40s for Sioux Falls, and then we jump in temps. Look at that. By Monday, we're going to warm back up. We got 60s and 70s returning, mid to upper 70s in central South Dakota, southeastern South Dakota, and then into Nebraska. So that is going to feel very good. And then we'll cool back down after Monday. Tuesday will be a little bit cooler. We'll drop back down to the 40s and 50s. However, if you go down in southeastern Nebraska and into Iowa, temps will still be in the 60s and 70s with that system coming through. On the back side of the system, 30s will be found. And then by next Wednesday, we'll cool back down again into the 40s. And then on Thursday, we'll maybe start to warm back up a little bit, 40s and 50s again. And then by next Friday, up into the 40s and 50s for our region, 55 Sioux Falls, 47 Rapid City. And then 1 week out from today, we got nice warm temps looking likely here. 50s and 60s once again, low 60s in Sioux Falls, mid 60s in southeastern South Dakota into Nebraska. So that is the latest here from T-Storm Chasers. Again, continue to follow us on all of our social medias, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and our YouTube channel. Give you guys the latest up-to-date weather information. Again, if you have any folks today down in Mississippi and Alabama, be sure to let them know. The Dixie Alley tornado outbreak is going on today. And please be sure to let them know about that because it's a very dangerous situation down there. But up here, we have a roller coaster ride of temperatures that is going to be fluctuating in our area. And again, we're watching that system early next week, Tuesday and Wednesday. So that's the latest. Stay safe out there.